It's Saturday, December 3rd, 2022. It's a quick video today. A couple articles I was reading this morning that I wanted to share with all of you. And please feel free to comment down below about anything you want to comment about. But I want to start with this first article today, coming from encouragingangels.org, and it's titled, "Expiring Money Will Define the Last Days of the US Dollar." And this was a really interesting article, and I bring it up because there are people out there that make videos all the time about get your money out of the bank. Now, I've been telling people probably for the last 4 years not to keep all your money in the bank. Some of these people just 6 months ago said, well, if you have a lot of money in the bank, well, you can't take it all out, so spread it around. But take some of it out and have a few $100s under your mattress in case the lights go out. And I just could never understand this. Well, now some of these people have changed their tune. Now they're telling you from 6 months ago, if you have a lot of money in the bank, leave it in there, but just have a few hundred put away. But now those same people are saying get all your money out of the bank. So I guess they've had some kind of come to Jesus moment. I don't know what it is, but now all of a sudden they've changed their tune and they're telling everybody to get all their money out of the bank. I've been saying this, many of you have been saying the same thing for 3-4 years. I've never trusted banks, never will, never have. But everybody is saying get your money out of the bank now. I say, when are we going to start talking about not just getting our money out of the bank, but getting our money out of the dollar and into ounces? We are going to watch historic events take place throughout the globe, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to be a matter of keeping your money or having money in the bank. At some point, it's going to be a matter of how much your money is out of cash and into ounces like gold and silver. And this is not financial advice. This is just me, how I think. This is my strategy. This is the conclusion I'm coming to. This is how I'm protecting myself. I'm not protecting myself with just paper. The way to protect yourself is with precious metals. Expiring money is basically money that has an expiration date, a certain date in the future that its value will fall to zero. How many of you, please comment down below, how many of you believe that at some point the dollar will go to zero or is going to have serious competition as far as a world reserve currency and is not going to be weaponized like it once was, not going to have the power and influence that it once did? Or is it just going to flat out go to zero? I think that history has taught us pretty well that all fiat currencies fail and fall, and the dollar will be just another fiat currency and it will go to zero. Someone is creating a base on commodities like gold that has value, and this is the Brics nations. They are creating a currency based on commodities, and more than likely that is going to be gold. This is Brazil, this is Russia, this is China, this is South Africa, and so many more nations just salivating to be part of the Brics nations, to get out from the control of the US dollar. Gold is the nemesis of the petrodollar, ladies and gentlemen, and the world knows it, and it is just a matter of time. Now, is that a year from now? Is it 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? I have no idea. But it is right now in the process of happening. And I don't know how long that is going to take, but you have the Brics nations right now already talking about doing it. Russia talking about coming out with its own gold-backed currency, the yuan, and China. There is so much talk now, and to me it's a matter of time. I don't think it's 10 or 20 years away. According to this article, it made a really good point. You may have worked 30 to 50 years squirreling away all your savings in dollar-denominated assets. When the dollar begins to capitulate and capsize, what will happen to the value and purchasing power of those same dollar-denominated assets? You know the answer to that. They're going to be worthless. They're going to go to zero, or they're going to have much, much less purchasing power. When the Brics rolls out a gold-linked or gold-backed world reserve currency, who is going to want dollar-denominated assets? The answer is absolutely nobody. You're going to see a run, a shift in the globe to this new currency or new currencies. When there are no buyers for US debt, what will happen to dollar-denominated assets? And what's going to happen to your standard of living if you're solely invested in dollar-denominated assets, bonds, stocks, cash? What happens? Your purchasing power is going to be absolutely annihilated. By the time the money printers realize there is no alternative and are forced to a gold-backed currency like its competitor, the Brics nations, the Brics will be light years ahead of the US. And of course, the price of gold will be light years ahead too. And this is why I'm so adamant that we're all being diversified. I do believe, even at this point, you have to have cash put away because you can buy things with cash right now. And I think you're going to be able to use cash to buy big sales in the stock market, to buy big sales in real estate. But at some point, cash is going to zero. Cash will crash. Cash is going to collapse. And then what? If you don't have this new world money, which is gold, which is old world money, we're going back to simplicity, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. The new world is going back to the old world of simplicity. Gold will be king again. Gold is the only real money. Everything else is credit. The average American will be financially devastated and will never recover. And we're seeing that evolution take place right now. This is why now is the time to be diligent, to do your own homework. A lot of people out there say, oh, you should talk to a financial advisor or a financial planner. No, you need to start being diligent yourself, doing your own due diligence, doing your own homework, and looking at what's going to protect you and your wealth. You should be studying the history and the financial structure and importance of only owning precious metals and why you should have them and why are central banks stockpiling this stuff. Why are the Brics nations running to this stuff and why are they going to back new currencies with gold? You should be studying this stuff. And people don't want to take the time. They would rather just listen to somebody else because they just go, well, the financial planner or advisor, they have a degree or they have a license, so they're smarter than me. You have got to start looking out for you. Again, remember, this is the nemesis to the US dollar. So this is now the time to really do your homework, to be diligent. Don't rely on your financial planner or advisor. Rely on you. Think of the garbage right now that you're wasting your money on, that you're buying things that you don't even need, the garbage. Instead, take some of that money and buy something that is going to protect you in the future, that's going to set you up for prosperity, that's going to protect your wealth. Buy some gold, buy some silver. That's not financial advice, but that is what I'm doing. That's what the people in my circle are doing. That's what my friends are doing. And this is what I highly advise everybody be doing. I'm not telling you to put all your money into it, but I think you should be putting some of it into it. And if you're just out there spending money, I mean, think about this. What's a better investment this Christmas? A big screen TV, you probably already have 3 of them, or an ounce of gold, or a couple ounces of gold, or 100 ounces of silver. What's going to be here 10 years from now? That TV isn't. What's going to serve you a better purpose? What's going to protect you? It's not going to be the big screen TV. It's going to be the gold. It's going to be the silver. Put the odds in your favor right now, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another one from The Hedge. America's insolvency is mandatory. I mean, just when you're just reading these articles day in and day out, it's very easy to connect the dots and come to the conclusion that we're in very, very big trouble. These are very smart people warning all of us with what is taking place right now. We're in trouble right now. We're not going to be in trouble. We're in trouble yesterday. $31 trillion in debt. We're going to add another trillion of debt in 2023. U.S. debt will soon soar to 185% of the country's entire economic output by 2052. In 1965, mandatory spending was 34% of all spending in the U.S. Today, it's 71%. What is mandatory spending? Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. All of this is completely unsustainable. Unsustainable, ladies and gentlemen. And the clock is ticking. And we don't know how much time we have, but what we do know is we are running out of time. Here's another one from The Hedge. Nouriel Roubini warns the mother of all economic crisis looms. He says the world economy is lurching toward an unprecedented confluence of economic, financial, and debt crisis following the explosion of deficits, borrowing, and leverage in recent decades. We are watching record amounts of debt, ladies and gentlemen, be created, not to invest in new capital, not to invest in machineries, new highways and roads, or new homes, or public infrastructure and things of that nature. No, those things return yield. What we're spending right now on is financing more consumption. Okay, we are creating more debt, not for good things. There is a time where debt is okay, where debt is good, when you're creating things that yield something. We are creating debt to keep feeding more consumption where there is no yield. People just keep spending money they don't have, buying things they really don't need. So we are on a collision course here with a catastrophic financial crash, in my opinion. Another article today, which to me is just a bellwether of where we're at and where we're going. Rolex, Patek, and AP watch prices continue to drop as crypto winter worsens. Also, just to add to the story, yesterday I drove by some of the car lots in my area. The amount of used cars are just piling up on the lots. Are you seeing the same thing? Please comment down below. But from 6 months ago to today, it is night and day. But the fast money that fueled this fake economy is no longer floating in this economy, and you can tell. You can definitely tell. The Subdial 50 Index is an index tracking the top 50 most traded secondhand luxury watches on the pre-owned market, is now making new lows and has fallen to levels not seen before the unprecedented boom in 2021 and early 2022. So this was another propped up market, all propped up by crypto. And we look at the US economy, which was propped up by the Fed and, pumping in $7 trillion of money over 30 months, causing massive inflation, allowing people to go out and buy cars and houses and take big trips and vacations and buying RVs and boats. And at the same time, we had this huge crypto boom, which has fueled another fake market, which is the luxury secondary watch market, and another propped up market here. And same thing with the luxury and exotic car market, very propped up by crypto. And now it's all coming back down to earth. And so this is another barometer, another temperature check of what's happening to the economy. And so when you don't have a Fed pumping trillions of dollars into the economy, and when they raise interest rates and mortgage rates go up, people just aren't buying houses like they once were. When the Fed's not buying mortgage-backed securities like they once were, now the air is coming out of the housing bubble. Just like the air is coming out of the luxury watch bubble, the exotic and luxury car bubble, the boating and RV bubbles, it's all being deflated now. So it just shows you how fake everything was and how this U.S. economy could not stand on its own 2 feet without the help of the Fed or the help of one of these fake crypto markets propping up these other markets with all this fake money, all this FOMO, and all this euphoria. And now it's all gone. And now we're finding out the real economy is pretty weak. And we're going to find out it's going to get much, much weaker because the Fed isn't going to be there now to pick up the pieces. Crypto isn't going to be there to fuel more FOMO in these markets. And so we're going to find out what this economy is really made of and how strong it really was. Without the help of the Fed, without the help of crypto, this thing is dead on arrival. And now people are going to pay a huge price here, losing their homes, losing their cars, losing their standards of living that they got so used to over the last 2 years on all the euphoria, believing that all this was real. And when you believe in fake things, ladies and gentlemen, it's just like the Wizard of Oz when they pull the curtain back and there's the wizard. He's just this little guy pulling levers and strings and pushing buttons, and it's all fake. And people now are going to come to the conclusion and realization that what they have is fake. The equity in their homes, the debt on their cars, it's not theirs. It's somebody else's. The watches, everything. None of it was real. Now they're having to sell everything because they can't even tread water at this point because these people have so much debt. Now they're going to find out what it's like in the real world, what reality is, because reality is now coming to the United States of America, and people are going to get very, very hurt here. Protect yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. God bless. Have a great weekend.